Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon Medisky and welcome to my channel. And today we are going to review Pilot's Acroball pen. This was actually suggested to me by one of you, so thank you very much. And you also asked, this particular person asked, do I use Pilot G2? I absolutely do. While they have a plethora of different color options, I like Ballpoint only, which for the G2 line is a 1.0. But I like the set of 10 colors. I find that to be very economical. And these are the only colors that I really use. So because it's my belief that the Acroball is kind of a hybrid gel, kind of ballpoint, oil-based ink, I'm going to compare the Acroball to a Pilot G2 as well as my reigning favorite ballpoint pen, which is the Bic Glide. Now, admittedly, this is a very, very bold point pen at 1.6 millimeters, but we're going to compare the Acroball to those two pens. And we're going to compare it on my favorite index cards, Oxford Heavyweight, because I write on these constantly. And we're going to compare it to just normal paper. This is actually Paperage Notepad. I love these. I'll leave links to the Acroball pens, the Notepads, and the index cards down below if you want to check them out. First of all, I'm going to admit it, I was not happy with how this box came from Amazon. Maybe that's because it was just thrown inside the box with 10 bags of dried pinto beans. Which is one of the ways we're making two ends meet over here right now, is eating lots of dried beans in the crock pot. But I still would have liked it if it would have been, more carefully packaged. But that said, I got this on a lightning deal. And even though I'd never tried these pens before, I was really excited because this box, I believe, was supposed to be $32, and I got it for just over $14 on a lightning deal. So 12 pens for 14 bucks. Wow, we're going to take a look. I'm hoping I love them. Okay, it says advanced ink, incredibly smooth, reliably comfortable. It's blue. Now, they rate this as a medium point at a 1.0. Let's see, smart, smooth, dependable. You'll love the Acroball Advanced Ink. Advanced ink combines the vibrancy of gel ink with quick-drying ballpoint ink to let your writing glide across the page. Now that is an experience I'm looking for. All right, I've been dying to open this box and look at these pens and hold one because the actual grip is important to me. I am somebody with psoriatic arthritis, and while I love to write, that can take a toll on me. So the grip of a pen, the barrel, really matters. Oh. Well. Okay, first of all, I like how it looks. It looks sleek. It's mainly plastic with a metal clip and a metal nib tip here. But the grip itself is a good size and shape. I wouldn't say that it's as cushiony or as ergonomic as the Bic Glide or even the Pilot G2. I like the grip better on the Pilot G2. Because the Acroball grip here is it feels a little almost sticky or rubbery, not quite as soft, but it is a good size and it is contoured, which I really, really like. Let's try the click mechanism. Okay, that takes a bit of doing. That matches. Okay, it's the same amount of pressure needed as the Pilot G2. Oh, no, okay. A little more is needed, a little more force is needed than the Pilot Glide, the Bic Glide, but it's nominal. And I will say that right out of the bat, it feels like a very sturdy, well-built pen. And again, I do like how it feels. Now let's start off with the pens I do already know and love. This is the Bic Glide. Oh, love that. It does glide. It's like butter on the paper. I kid you not. Now, the Pilot G2. Now, looking at this paper here, you can see that it's almost the exact same width of line. I do prefer the color blue of the Bic Glide, but I will say that the one thing the Pilot G2 has going for it, there's actually two things, In this particular barrel, you can see the amount of ink. I hate it when I'm writing mid-sentence and I immediately run out of ink. Oh, I loathe that because the Bic Glide, you can't see the ink supply. That said, I Frankenstein my Pilot pens because I always write in blue ink. So while I do buy the 10 packs to have multiple colors, I also buy a bunch of the bold 1.6 blue ink Pilot G2 gel refills to put into these fancy, they call them fashion pens. So these actually come either in multiple colors or usually in black ink, but I don't use the black ink. So I take those black ink cartridges, put them in other Pilot G2 barrels, give them to my hubby who doesn't care what he writes with. But I do like being able to see the ink supply in that. All right, moment of truth. Let's try the Acroball. Now this is Pilot Acroball here. Okay. It's a good pen. I'm not in love. But I will keep this because I'll throw it in my purse and use it for balancing my checkbook. Because I'm one of those weirdos who writes in a debit every time I use my debit card and subtract it. I would not use this pen for my notes, for my anecdote keeping, for my book decks, and here's why. It did have some faint skipping. It does write considerably. The line, the lay down, the thickness of the line is noticeably less. It's a lot skinnier than with the Bic Glide or the Pilot G2. It's not a bad pen. I like this way better than the Jetstream Power Tank pen, or Uniball Power Tank pen I tried the other day. Whew! Was not a fan of that pen. So I like this better than the Uniball Power Tank. But I'm still going to say, so far, the Bic Glide and the Pilot G2 are my favorite. But let's try this on an index card as well. And the Oxford Heavyweight index cards do not come punched. This is punched because it came out of my punch stash. I punch a bunch of index cards in advance and I use them for my book deck. So I just grabbed that. All right, so let's try the Bic Glide on an index card. Pilot. Oops, let's spell correctly. Hi, I'm a former teacher. Pilot G2. And this is the Pilot Acroball. All right. Yeah, I'm bummed. You can see just how much narrower the stroke is on the Pilot Acroball. Yeah, so not a bad pen at all. I'm just not blown away. I love the look. It looks really cool. It looks really well made. I would not say it glides across the paper like they say it's going to. What did they describe this as? Ballpoint ink to let your writing glide across the page. Not so much. At least not for me. And I have a heavy hand when I'm writing. So I gave this a good running chance. It's a good pen if you're looking for a fine point. And you know what? I don't even know how they get off calling this a medium. Maybe it is a 1 millimeter, but it doesn't write like that to me. Because the Pilot G2 right here is a 1 point. It says so right there. 1.0. There we go. So let's, out of curiosity, yeah, maybe it's not as noticeable on screen, but I would say that the Pilot G2, even though it's a 1.0 millimeter, writes 1.5 times the width of the Acroball. So there you have it. I'm going to end this here. This is not a bad pen by any means, just not my personal favorite. But if you're looking for a good ballpoint pen that is well built, feels good in the hand, and writes with a thinner line, then I would recommend it. But if you're like me and you write heavy-handed and you like a good, bold, chunky lay down of ink, I would stick with the Bic Glide in the bold, the 1.6 millimeter, or your Pilot G2. So you can't go wrong really with any of these pens though. Thanks so much for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, please give me a quick like. If you have a pen you'd like me to try out and do a review of, leave me the name of the pen in the comments down below, and I will try to get my hands on one of those, and I will do a quick video to review those as well. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.